Let's switch over now to the world of All Elite Wrestling. We had Dynamite this past week. Fellas, let's talk first about the big bump that Sting took. He took a vicious powerbomb from Brian Cage. And the look on Sting's face afterwards kind of said it all. What are your thoughts on this?
I was surprised when I saw it, which was the intent. You know, I'm not somebody that's going to tell somebody what they can or can't do. But the first thing when he gets power bombed, you think of is the serious injury he had. He's got spinal stenosis. Is that something safe for him to do? Now, it did get my interest. I don't know for the right reasons, but it did get my interest. I was literally like, I cannot believe he let Brian Cage powerbomb him.
Yeah, of all the people, yeah.
Well, and I'm not, listen, I'm not saying that Cage is unsafe or anything. I mean, but he's a big guy and he's pretty strong. So, I mean, accidents do happen too, right? So,
well, and that was going to be my point, Matt. On that point where I'm not saying Cage is unsafe either. However, sometimes you don't know your own strength. Some things do accidentally happen, and obviously, I'm sure Sting's fine. Uh, but that was a wicked power bomb for sure.
yeah, and obviously it's to build heat for the street fight, which I'm assuming is still going to be cinematic to a degree. So, I mean, what do you do with Sting in a street fight? He's got to be delivered mostly offense. He can't. I doubt he's going to be taking a lot of bumps. But you're right, Derek. The look on his face, I don't. It was one of those moments like, wow, did I really just see that happen in 2021?
Also on AEW this past week, it was revealed that we will be treated to an upcoming barbed wire explosion match between Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley. First of all, what are your thoughts on an explosion barbed wire match in the US on television or pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it, in 2021 with a big company like AEW?
My first thought is why. Like
exactly, because they can, right?
That here's the thing, like if they were gonna, I almost thought the challenge was backwards. Like, why is Omega challenging him to an exploding barbed wire death match? I don't know.
Yeah,
I thought that was a little odd to me. It doesn't feel like a blood feud. That's like the ultimate. Let's maim you. I'm gonna maim you and finish you for good. So we're never gonna wrestle again. Which I don't get the vibe that that's what would actually happen. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know. Like, obviously the big famous one was Funk and Foley in FMW, and I don't know. I don't know what you would do for this.
But Funk and Foley,
Moxley loves the garbage wrestling.
Yeah,
like what if they brought in Mick Foley to referee this match?
That would probably make the match. To be
honest. I know he's not in great health, but if he's able to have Terry Funk maybe be like a ring announcer or be watching the match like they did with Greg Valentine with the dog color match a couple months ago.
Well, I hope they're listening to this because Derek, they really should use your ideas, and you're not wrong. I mean, you have to build. This is a stipulation match, so it's like this is a almost themed match, and it's like, okay, how do we make the ratings for this? How do we make this match good? Go from decent to good to maybe great, but I don't think I can't see it being a great match, but it could be a good one.
Uh, I don't know. I honestly don't see the point in it. And I think it's going to be, there'll be blood for sure. There's no question. And that's not for everybody in 2021. I don't think at all. I don't think fans necessarily love that. There is that hardcore fan base that does enjoy it. I just don't see the point in them scheduling a match like that. It's just the latest in hot shotting AEW.
Matt, I gotta say, you mentioned blood. We're talking about Jon Moxley. This is a little off topic, but I have to say, I am looking forward to Josh Barnett's Bloodsport that's coming up. That's going to feature Jon Moxley against Davey Boy Smith Jr.
Did you see the promo Moxley had for that?
No, I did not. I just saw a graphic. Like I saw when they announced it, and I was like, sold. Derek, they don't have to do anything else.
It's like 15 seconds long, and it's actually really good. It's like Moxley's talking, and it's showing Harry Smith, and he's like, I know he's one of the toughest guys in the world, the most dangerous guys in the world, and he's putting him over like that. And then he goes, but I just want to rip his head off and put it on my wall. And that's the end of the promo.
Nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So I just got to say that because that's the Jon Moxley match I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah. And I think he did Bloodsport. He's done Bloodsport last couple times too, right? So, and that might be one of Harry's last indie matches. So, yeah, but that style is totally different, right? It's grappling, submission. It's essentially UWFI, and that's I don't know, man. I agree with you. The Bloodsport concept is awesome because it's like work shoot, and I don't know. I agree. I think that's going to be fun.
I mean, the closest, if you haven't seen Bloodsport, the closest that I would hate to say this, but the closest that there has been on American television is Raw Underground.
That's correct.
Anything else in the world of AEW that stuck out to you this week? I felt like this week was one of those weeks where it's like a filler week, if you will, where nothing really happens or happened. I mean, they had the Jade Cargill, Shaq promo.
I just want to say, Serena Deeb was excellent this week.
Yes, she had a match against Rio. I love the finish of that match. I'm not a big Rio fan, but
I'm not a big Rio fan.
She did a great job in that match.
She can be led by somebody that it's Serena Deeb. Basically they did a super job right off the bat when the announcers talked about her wearing that knee brace, and she kept kind of tweaking the knee throughout the match, and she sold that knee the entire match. She didn't try to run on it very much. And then because her knee was hurting, then she went after Rio's knee. So they both had a bad wheel. Rio didn't sell it as well as Serena, but Serena Deeb is, oh my God.
She is excellent.
See, here's the thing. I'm with you. I'm not a Rio fan, right? But I could tell by the bracket, right? Rio! So the match with Serena was to really put a shine on Rio, like she's tough. Then she's gonna have a match against Thunder Rosa next. So, to me, if you're gonna build Rio as a credible threat, which I don't ever see her being that credible, but having her with workers like that, you can at least build her and insulate her to get her to another level. And they're really fortunate to have somebody like Serena Deeb on that roster to work with younger wrestlers. She was excellent in that match.
Riho.
Okay, Jim.
Anything else? Because you know what, like I said, like it
I
was really
think
not a great week for Dynamite. I feel
I
it was
think
it was just there.
I think the
well,
thing with I think the thing with Dynamite that I've noticed lately, the first hour's been not been good, and then it just falls off. That's kind of how I viewed the show.
I mean, they got a couple big shows coming up, so it's understandably so that I mean you have to have weeks where you're just building stuff towards those bigger shows.
I just think you go with the problem is with segment to segment. There's something that's really good, really hot, and then they follow it up with whatever, whatever filler. Like Kenny Omega in the classroom was just some great work this
How about
week.
the gender reveal? That was a little bit of a filler. I mean, congratulations, but like, would you have to do that in a big spectacle with the fireworks and everything?
Have you seen Cody's entrance?
Yes, I have seen Cody's entrance.
That should answer your question.
All right. So we will talk more about AEW next week.